anchoring means that when you hear a number, you are more likely to decide something else has a value or a count that is similar to the number you just heard. For our jurors, this happens frequently when they hear numbers during the trial that don't necessarily affect or relate to other numbers. First, medical bills. There are laws in some states, including Ohio, where you can only talk about a certain amount of the medical bills, not necessarily the total amount billed. And this can be an extreme change sometimes. You can have medical bills that are $1 million, but Medicaid gets most of that written off, and so it's only $200,000. And when you start talking about different types of damages that don't have an easy number fixed to them, the jury makes a very different decision about those damages when they only hear $200,000 as opposed to if they'd heard $1 million. So what's an example of that? Pain and suffering is a damage that there's no yardstick for. You can't say that if a certain thing happens, the pain and suffering is always this certain amount, because it'll be different for different people. It's both your physical pain and your mental, emotional suffering that kind of affect on your life. So pain and suffering is kind of rationally related to your medical bills in the sense of they both go back to how physically hurt you are. But if I tell my jury that the medical bills are $1 million, or if I tell them that the medical bills are $200,000, they're going to come up with a very different pain and suffering number. And so we have to deal with that bias, and we have to anchor them to a number that may be closer to the $1 million billed as opposed to the $200,000 that we're allowed to tell them about in court. And I don't want to give all our tips and tricks away for that, but we've developed a lot of techniques over the years to make sure that the jury anchors to a higher number rather than a lower number, which is going to improve the damages they assess for our clients.